From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big Saturday afternoon, as this channel can exclusively report, in a world exclusive, that a third wave of $1,400 third stimulus checks have already gone out. The effective date of the checks is March 31st. The checks will land by direct deposit for some viewers on March 31st. This includes viewers on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. Some have already gotten the funds. Some have the alerts. This includes people on the Direct Express card. Of all the details, including that April 2nd mail check date, that's also happening. Breaking details you're only hearing on this channel, and exclusive details you won't hear anywhere else. Meantime, new video from the White House about equal pay, shocking developments about forced stimulus, new statements about B117, the variant vaccine, the variant that is growing. Elsewhere, a new forced stimulus package. But is it standalone or is it part of the existing package? What did SSI and SSA get help with on Friday? I'll have all that great details as more. And then a real surprise, as one item in SBA just went live. Oh, yes, it did. Something on SBA has just gone live, baby. As we go into the afternoon, there's so much exciting, great news. I'm so excited for you. Let's get ready to rock and roll, and let's get to it as Afternoons LALATE gets underway right now. What an exciting Saturday afternoon across the board. The excitement of Saturday afternoon continues to grow as $1,400 third stimulus checks are now pending, and yours could be pending as well. Meantime, what are the shocking developments across the board about next week? I have all that exciting news as we go into a big afternoon's recording. Thank you for joining me. Wow, this could not be any bigger. And yes, a big surprise from SBA. No, they don't have scarves on sale at TJ Maxx. Yeah, that was last year's joke. How are you? Crushing the weekend? Calcino night. The Calcino's open tonight with a sale on the Calpuccino. And the Cowlacks are going to be outside. Sirloin says hello. How are you? If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I mean, why would you not subscribe? It's free to subscribe. And there's things happening across the board. Also be part of this incredible, wonderful community where people help each other. People really have done great work today by helping one another as a family get the information out and share what they have seen for themselves so they can help you. That's the spirit of this community. Make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Let's see if we can do 3,000 likes. One more afternoon's recording after this. Right after this, I'll go into the live chat, and then we go off to Evenings LALATE, and that's a big show tonight, boy, at 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and I may have a surprise for you on Instagram tonight as well. Let's get to the breaking details. $1,400 third stimulus checks went out in a first wave on a Friday so that they landed on St. Patrick's Day. They went out in a second wave, so they landed on a Friday, so that they landed on March 24th, last Wednesday. This channel can exclusively report that a third wave of $1,400 third stimulus checks went out yesterday, Friday. That's number one. Number two, this channel can exclusively report that viewers on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits have sent me screen grabs of their accounts showing that there is a $1,400 third stimulus check pending for deposit on March 31st. This includes big banks, small banks, credit unions, and Direct Express card. Next, viewers have also confirmed to me that their irs.gov tool has now indicated that March 31st there will be a direct deposit. Finally, viewers have also indicated to me that they are also seeing the irs.gov tool show that April 2nd is the new effective date for their mail check. More about all these details in just a second, but let me start with what's going on with you and me. First, if you've heard these details and you show no updates in your bank, your direct deposit, or your IRS tool, or your IRS transcript tool, do not worry. Why? Because they generally don't post pending statuses. We have done second stimulus together as a family, and we have done third stimulus now with 1 and 2 waves before we got to this third wave. And throughout all those recordings, 99% of the time, the money just appears. It does not, 9 out of 10 times, show a pending status whatsoever. It just appears. So when you hear people that are similarly situated to you that are getting information across the board, that information helps you because yours is likely to be in that ball game. This is where we are. On March 17th, on St. Patrick's Day, the big banks released the first wave of stimulus checks. They had them from the Friday before them. But the effective date of this first wave of stimulus checks was St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Some of the smaller banks like H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, like Chime, Bancorp, and Cash App released the funds ahead of time. But on March 17th, these were the banks that released the funds on the effective date of the first wave, March 17th. They were Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp, Chime, PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, People United Bank, US Bank, PNC, Capital One Bank. They also include Lake Michigan, Credit Union, USAA, Union Bank, MetaBank, MX Bluebird, Navy Federal. They also included BTP, Woodforest, Bank America, Chase, Wells Fargo, H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, and TurboTax. Missing upon that list for St. Patrick's Day, the 17th, was Direct Express Card. But going into the second wave, a week ago today, I exclusively reported to you that another wave of deposits were going to occur on March 24th. How did I know it? Because a week ago today, I had viewers have the same thing happen that's happening today. They were getting alerts from their banks, from Direct Express, and from the IRS tool showing that there was a pending deposit for the following Wednesday, then March 24th. Guess what's happening today? The same thing. Viewers now show pending for direct deposit this coming Wednesday, $1,400 stimulus checks, March 31st. What happened last Saturday? Viewers got alerts that deposits were happening, and they eventually happened. But more deposits occurred than people who ever got alerts. They got deposits without ever getting an alert. They never got alerts. They still got deposits. Those deposits from last Wednesday were PNC, Wells, Arvest, US Bank, Chase, Direct Express, Green Dot, Citizens Bank, Bank of America, H&R Block, Regions Bank, and TD Bank. So what's happening today? Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 to 5 major developments, all exclusive to this channel, that all signal that the third wave has gone out and that the third wave has a March 31st direct deposit effective date and a April 2nd mailed check effective date. Number 1. Viewers have gotten an alert from Direct Express Card. They're getting deposits on March 31st. Number 2, viewers from banks have gotten alerts that they're getting a deposit, that they have a pending deposit available for withdrawal on March 31st. Number 3, I've had viewers get funds today and yesterday, and those funds just appeared. That's because they're from the third wave. Number 4, I've had people from the IRS tool show March 31st as the effective date of a direct deposit. And number 5, I've had people suddenly have April 2nd as the effective date of the direct deposit. Now, we know that a direct deposit went out, or a payment at least went out. Why? Because we got that information from this channel on Friday. This is your head of SSA. He confirmed that SSA, SSI, SSDI, 30 million records were delivered to Treasury on Wednesday morning. By the end of Thursday, he released this statement to the American people, which said all past tense that payments had been made. Once we moved forward, once we were free to move forward, we aggressively worked with Treasury and IRS to issue payments, all past tense. That was Thursday going into Friday. If this all sounds familiar, and like Captain Obvious is walking through the set with Sirloin holding his hand, it should. Let's look at the calendar together and see how this has been now not the first, second, but third time. The first wave of stimulus checks went out on the 12th, and some viewers on SSI and SSDI got the money on the 12th, the 13th, and the 15th. Who were those banks? H&R Block, Cash App, and Chime. Then the big banks on the 15th and 16th, before the first wave hit, said we're not releasing the funds until the 17th because that's the effective date of the first wave. And on the first wave date, the 17th, the big banks released the funds. Then on the 19th, Friday, Treasury sent out a second wave. And that second wave was confirmed by this channel the next day on Saturday, last Saturday, a week ago today, when we had people getting alerts that a second wave was going to hit on the 24th. This last Monday, the 22nd, Treasury confirmed a second wave did go out and that the effective date is the 24th. You may get the funds before the 24th, Treasury said, but generally the effective date is the 24th. Then they said a large number of people expecting direct deposit by the 24th may instead get it by the mail. On the 24th, deposits hit. Viewers also got alerts that a mail check was coming the 26th. Some got it before the 26th, some got it on the 26th, some got it today, the 27th. Some have still not gotten it. More about that in a second. Finally, today, the 27th, Saturday, viewers now getting the alert that the 31st is a direct deposit and April 2nd is a mail check. A lot of details, and I know that's a lot in just nearly 12 minutes of a video, but I got more of it in a second. I'm going to go slowly through it, one item after another. But guess what? I have a little surprise from you, from the wonders of the scarf people. That's scarf, not scarf. Scarf. Yes, SBA has now officially set up the preview for one of its grants. The Shuttered Venue Operators Grant application has gone into preview mode. And that preview mode now allows you to submit your name, your business name, and your address to get the application. That's a Shuttered Venue Grant. The Shuttered Venue Grant is available at SBA, and it's just happening now. So this is breaking news for Saturday. Tell you a lot of stuff happens on Saturday. You can't miss a minute with this channel. Lord. Let's cut to else what's going on. Later in this video, you're going to see details from the White House, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Walensky, and a new video from the White House. But let me cut back to the surprising developments about this, reoccurring stimulus checks. There's so much going on with reoccurring stimulus checks, and what I want you to understand, so you understand procedurally where we're going, is that third stimulus, we're waiting for this wave to hit. But at the same time, the president this coming week will introduce his fourth stimulus package. We already know generally what's in there. But the Democrats have said from both the Senate and the House, we're not going to support it unless there's reoccurring stimulus checks every month to the end of this year. They don't say the amount. They say monthly. So we presume it's about $12,000 to $16,000 end of this year. Well, a new bill was introduced at the end of end of the week from this individual. And the bill calls for the following. This is a House bill. The bill calls for a stimulus check the first month of $2,000 for everyone who's watching this channel, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits, and then $1,000 per month thereafter to a year after the pandemic's over. Yeah, you heard me right. It wants to pay $1,000 for a stimulus check until the year after the pandemic's over. In one of the videos before this, someone said, why don't they ever talk about the SSI $200 a month? Do we not see the math of this bill? The math of this bill wants to pay a stimulus check for the next 19 months. It's just, yeah, it's huge. Will it ever happen? No, of course not. You're not going to get 19 months of $1,000 stimulus. You're not going to get $24,000 of stimulus checks. It's just like, when is the pandemic over? I don't know. But if we say it's over in September, which is, a half a dozen months from now, and then we add another year on top of that, that's like 19 $1,000 checks plus a $2,000 check. So like $22,000 of stimulus checks. Is it going to happen? No, it's not going to happen. But I love that she's keeping stimulus checks front and center. Just don't make it so ridiculous. It's like, let's give 35 years of stimulus checks. But bless her for trying to keep the subject matter front and center. Let's cut back to this stimulus check. What you need to know is that there is a series of falsehoods and a series of true facts about the third stimulus, $14 stimulus check. Let me go over true or false right now with you. And I'll also jump in the live chat with you right after this commercial break. First, no one on SSI has gotten a stimulus check. Oh, it's untrue. They got stimulus checks within 24 hours. That's just simply untrue. No one on Direct Express has gotten a stimulus check. That's also untrue. They got it under the second wave, but they didn't get it on the first wave. People on veterans are getting stimulus checks before people on SSI, SSDI. Also untrue. No one who didn't file a tax return, and no one who didn't use that non-file filing is getting a stimulus check. Also untrue. The reason I haven't gotten a stimulus check is because of that Neil letter, because Treasury doesn't know where I am, and they didn't deliver those papers to Treasury. That's also untrue. I've had hundreds of thousands of viewers on SSI and SSDI get stimulus checks for the third stimulus check before Neil even wrote the letter. So, yeah, while Neil talks about the concern, that's not the reason why it happened. Next, that there's 30 million people who are missing stimulus checks. No, the large number is actually much larger. Neil thinks that the concern about who's missing a stimulus check are the SSI and SSDI recipients only. It's not. It's actually even bigger than that group. Then, when I go to the irs.gov tool, if it shows no information about me, I'm not getting a stimulus check. Also untrue. There's a series of reasons why that tool may have no information about you. That's coming up later in this video. Additionally, if the IRS tool shows a date for mail, it means that that's the date I'm getting the stimulus check. That's not what it means. More about that later in this video as well. Finally, the banks have my money, and they're going to release it in a couple of weeks. Oh my God, that is perhaps the most ridiculously untrue sentence, which a few banks are guilty of because they've been sending out very confusing messages. No bank has your funds and is sitting on your funds for several weeks. They don't have the funds. They haven't been released to them. That's why they haven't given it to you. Moreover, no bank can tell you whether funds are sitting around for 5 weeks from now. It's also untrue. Finally, will funds be held between this Friday and next Wednesday? Yes. So viewers are actually showing pending status of funds of $1,400 stimulus checks for next Wednesday as pending because the banks have the effective date of the stimulus check for next Wednesday, and they have chosen not to release the funds. Again, some banks choose as a bank policy to release the funds before the stimulus date. Those have been Chime, Bancorp, Cash App. Other banks, like the big banks, say, no, we're not releasing the funds until the effective date of the stimulus check. So much to still get to, and boy, this is going to be a big recording, so stay with me and I'll jump into the live chat as well. I'll be back in 60 seconds with this and more, and also some videos. Stay with me. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now with more on Afternoons LALATE. One more recording coming up after this, and away we go to Evenings LALATE. The next video, I'll be jumping into the live chat, but during the commercial break, I saw some of your comments, and they were great. Keep on posting your comments to the live chat. William said, mine is scheduled to deposit the 31st. So away we go. There is another confirmation. Another viewer shows the third wave of the $1,400 third stimulus check is set to deposit on the 31st. Congratulations, William. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single minute of what's happening across the board. Also, like this video. Let's see if we can do 3,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. I want to personally thank all the viewers of this channel who have really stepped forward and shared information like William. Anyone that has anything that is showing or changing or updating, share it in the live chat because it helps people. Let me tell you where we are, because this is so important. And no matter how many times I say it, people still ask the question again. So I want to answer it again. My IRS tool shows nothing pending. I'm concerned I'm not getting a stimulus check. My bank doesn't show anything pending. I'm worried I'm not getting a stimulus check. 99% of the time, nothing ever shows pending. It just shows up. Let me reassure you that 99% of the time, the stimulus check just appears and does not have a pre-notice by either the tool or the bank or anything else. In a digital era, I've seen over the last 6 months, people love to see digital stuff where something is here and then it's there. They love to track or apply. People used to always say to me, where's the rent application for all 50 states? There's not one rent application. People love everything to be in one cohesive place. And needless to say, when it comes to a stimulus check, they have categorically, under the first, second, and now third, just shown up without any prior notification. So understand, if you're on the IRS tool and it doesn't show any information, don't get frustrated. If it doesn't show any information, why does it not show information? Let me explain to you why. Number one, it may not be updated. Number two, it may not recognize the way in which you're typing in the address. The tool is very finicky, as people always jump in the chat, and they're right. The tool doesn't work for me. It sometimes just doesn't work because it doesn't recognize your address because of a strange punctuation or strange abbreviation that is not the way that the post office officially recognizes the address. You can sometimes look up the official address version from a series of apps, but sometimes that still doesn't help. Next, the tool sometimes is not accurate, and sometimes it's confusing. Let's go to, for example, the mailed check. The mail check, March 26, mail. What does March 26 mail mean? Earlier today on Mornings LALATE, I had thousands of viewers who, in a live chat, that said mail 26. That's what I'm getting. What does that mean? It means that you are getting in the mail to you either a debit card or a paper check that is dated in the corner March 26. What do you mean? Well, it means, does that mean I'm getting the stimulus check on the 26th? No. Does it mean it was mailed out on the 26th? No. Well, what does it mean? It means the date in the corner of the check is the 26th. So what day am I getting the check then? the check would generally be sent out by Treasury 1 to 2 days ahead of time so that you get the check when it lands by that date of the check. Now, that's certainly not happening here because we had thousands of people in the live chat that were waiting on a March 26th check, but it didn't land by the 26th. Here's the good news. Viewers started to see it appear late today, the 27th, which of course is a Saturday if you're tuning in live. They started to see it appear late today, which is great news because it suggests that the checks are late. The checks are late. I also had viewers get the 26th check on the 23rd, 24th. So what I have to say to you is there's something that is causing a delay of the mail checks to land. If you're a viewer that goes to the IRS tool and it still shows the 26th mail date, don't worry. It means either it is late or it's going to get updated. More about that in a second. But let me show you a new video from the White House talking about the resurgence of the virus, especially when we talk about the variants. This is another part of a video, which you haven't seen yet, in which Dr. Walensky talks about the issues at hand.
These communities seen disproportionate cases of COVID-19, but they have also often had higher rates of chronic diseases such as diabetes and heart disease that have resulted in increased hospitalizations and deaths. Additionally, survey data indicate that these communities are facing higher rates of stress, anxiety, and other mental health challenges as they navigate the pandemic. These communities have experienced long-standing disparities in access to care and services, which have been further exacerbated during the pandemic.
Also at issue is the disparity of pay. And today, the White House released a new video in which the First Lady and invited guests talk about pay disparity in the United States.
Job. I was hired and I made $7,500, and a man was hired the same time and they offered him $10,000.
I've helped win 4 World Cup championships and 4 Olympic gold medals for the United States. Despite those wins, I'm still paid less than men who do the same job that I do.
The strength of unequal pay rests on the notion of unequal value. It is an issue of equity. Invest in women, then let's talk again when you see the return. My college experience was good, but I do think that those years were really when I became more aware of discrepancies within the sport.
I think we see it more in our professional lives than we do in colleges, unfortunately. Obviously, we have a very public fight going on there, but yeah, I feel like we felt it almost more after college.
It's even tougher for women of color.
One of the other things
And when we talk about
doing next week is also taxes. The big issue at hand is where is forced stimulus going to be paid for? It could be paid for with bonds, it could be paid for with existing programs, and it could be paid for with labor. But a series of questions continue to circle the White House. Is raising taxes going to be used to pay for forced stimulus? Here was the president's press secretary's response yesterday in a video that was negatively responded to and got 800 down likes compared to 200 up likes yesterday.
Is pushing his team to take more rapid action. Go ahead, Peter.
Thank you, Jen. The president has said he wants bipartisan support, I think, for infrastructure package as well. Mm-hmm. Is that possible when Republicans are pretty adamant they don't want tax increases? In other words, how can you achieve bipartisan support for infrastructure if Republicans are drawing a hard line on taxes?
Well, first I would say, Peter, that I don't think most Republicans think that the United States, one of the wealthiest countries in the world, should be 13th in the world as it relates to infrastructure. You know, roads that are broken down, infrastructure that isn't working, a lack of access to broadband, that's not a Democratic issue. And the president is going to continue to make that case. Now, we don't know what the votes will be. We haven't proposed a package yet. And certainly what it will be tied to and the pay-fors will be a part of that discussion. But he certainly believes there's been a history of support for investing in infrastructure. He has had bipartisan meetings in the White House. He's worked with Democrats and Republicans on getting legislation getting steps taken in the past, and he's hopeful that there's an agreement on that moving forward.
Ironically, one of the big questions is whether stimulus checks should be locked up in an infrastructure bill that raises taxes. Because ultimately, we may be seeing a myriad of 2020 all over again. Remember in 2020 when we talked about LA Write the Bill? LA Write the Bill, write a standalone bill for stimulus checks, write a standalone bill for FPC retro or hazard pay or things like that. Suddenly we see the infrastructure bill, which is going to be valued at $3 trillion, being tied up with a raising of taxes, capital gains, inheritance taxes, wealth tax, and also corporate tax raises. That's never going to pass among Democrats, let alone Republicans. So the concern is whether stimulus checks will be stifled. I don't think they will. I just think the president's going to have to find a different way to fund the bill because the Democrats have already said to him they're not going to support the bill funded that way. We'll be covering this more over the next week because next week is the day in which the week in which the fourth stimulus package is introduced. But let's cut back now to the third stimulus check. This is where you want to focus. The third stimulus check is the focus's channel over the next week or so. I'm going to make sure that all of you get this third stimulus check if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. I'm not leaving the subject matter, and I'm making sure that you get this money because you're owed this money. And ultimately, the best source of this information on where the money is coming from is you. For every viewer that finds a new alert on the irs.gov tool, or finds a new alert in their bank account, or hears something of a big drop coming from their bank, whether it's Chase or Bank America, and shares that information in the live chat or DMs me in a private message, it helps one another. Why? Because the deposits for the waves come without announcement. They simply come often with no one ever getting a prior alert, message, or similar that it's coming. And when you provide that information, you help thousands of viewers learn what's going on. This channel has 500,000 to 1 million views, and every time that you share that information, it really helps Americans and viewers this channel. Some viewers think that everything has to come this way, with a alert, a pending deposit from SSI and SSDI, a pending stimulus check is on your Direct Express card. And if they don't get this alert, it causes concerns. Ultimately, the best indicator if there's going to be a big drop is enough people getting alerts or getting updates or hearing or seeing on tools or their banks that there's going to be a drop. And the great news as we go into the evening is that we've had now Direct Express, big banks, small banks, and IRS tool tell viewers this channel that March 31st, they will get a direct deposit of a $1,400 stimulus check. We have also had a viewer actually get the funds in the last 24 hours in advance of this coming Wednesday's effective date. And we've also had viewers get alert that it's coming by mail check on April 2nd. A lot of details, and I got one more video in which I'll interact with you in the live chat. But before then, let me see some of your comments right now in this video. Let's see what some of the people are saying. I have direct deposit, says ISD. 26 mail date, where is my paper check, says Dee Dee Wallace. So Dee Dee is a very common situation. Maserati, my update still says the 26th. I gotta tell you, throughout today, I would think that almost 60% of the viewers have a March 26th mail date alert, and they did not receive it. Now, the good news is about maybe 50 of you got the stimulus check today or yesterday in the mail. So it may be late. Let me see some more of the comments. There's another person saying the same thing about March 26th. Tamika, none of my information has changed, so I'm confused why there's no pending information. Because often they don't have pending information. Again, the big message as we go into the final recording tonight is that Treasury just makes the deposit and it occurs. It just shows up. Sometimes it shows pending, but most of the time it does not. 9 out of 10 times, the stimulus check just appears. And if we go into Monday and we get that confirmation Monday that a third wave went out on Friday and that the third wave's effective date is March 31st, then we'll watch and see what happens on March 31st. I have one more recording. I'll jump into the live chat with you. But first, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling, stay positive, and stay of Ally for more.